Hello everyone, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ମୋର ନମସ୍କାର ଓ ଶୁଭେଚ୍ଛା. Welcome to this extraordinary inclusive discussion on World Odia Cuisine, and thanks for watching us live on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube of Odisha Tourism. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all of us from across the world. Our diaspora from about 5 continents, 9 countries, many states of India, embassies, overseas delegates are all with us in this inclusive discussion today. Now, and I am Charudat Panigrai, and today I will take you on this wonderful drive in this significant mission of Odia cuisine. This is extraordinary because of our togetherness in the drive to make Odia cuisine international. All of us are in this mission, and let's call this our Odia cuisine mission, OCM. It is also extraordinary because we have practicing panelists for the discussion, and they are in the thick of action. So you would hear less of theory today. And the composition of this panel is eclectic, I must say the least. It has planner, policymaker, administrator, entrepreneur, author, researcher, and artists, culinary artists. Let me also give you an idea about the objectives, very well laid out, specific objectives for this discussion. And the objectives are one, to help profile the Odia cuisine in the international haute cuisine or international hot cuisine bracket, to put this in the global map with sustained enterprise. How do we increase our outreach to different corners of the world? How do we make more and more have Odia cuisine and savor Odia cuisine? And how do we involve youngsters, the younger generation, and how do we provide opportunities for them to experiment and to innovate Odia cuisine? And let me tell you that for all this evening that you're all here with us, we are grateful to Odisha Tourism, Mr. Vishal Dev, Mr. Debashish Patnaik, alias Debu Patnaik, for all of us, for flagging off this unique movement. I call it a movement, the Odia Cuisine Mission. And this is just not another online discussion. Certainly not. This mission, believe me, would augment brand Odisha like never before. This could be the raison d'etre or the mainstay or the hallmark for brand Odisha. Our panelists, as I told you, are seasoned practitioners. Mr. Vishal Dev, the thought leader and the force behind globalizing brand Odisha and making it possible for super mega events and initiatives like the Hockey Men's World Cup 2018, Marine Drive Eco Retreat, and many more. Always on the move, he is now preparing for 2021 Women's Under 17 World Cup, 2023 Men's Hockey World Cup, high performance centers in various sports like rugby, hockey, shooting, world class badminton academy. So he's our commissioner, come secretary to the government of Orissa, Department of Tourism, Sports and Youth Services. He has a dream that Orissa should host Olympics. He has another dream to make Odia cuisine the haute international cuisine or the hot international cuisine to be available in every part of the globe. And Orissa tourism to go global even more. He is our mentor in Odia cuisine mission. And I welcome you, Mr. Vishal Dev. Debashish Patnaik, alias Debu Patnaik for all of us, the pioneering entrepreneur, the estate is given to constantly working towards converging belief and enterprise. He started the ubiquitous Dalma chain and fed Odia food to Odia people in Orissa before venturing out to the rest of the country. He wants to make Odia cuisine sustainable with changing times and market demands without losing the authenticity. We welcome you and we are with you, Mr. Patnaik. Chef Sabyasachi Gorai, popularly known as Chef Sabi, a celebrated chef of India. He is a popular alumnus of Institute of Hotel Management, IHM Bhubaneswar, a culinary anthropologist, which in common parlance for us to understand is an expert who understands culinary, who understands consumers, and who understands people. And this combination makes him a unique ambassador of Oriya food in the country. He is also an entrepreneur, but a passionate Oriya cuisine artist. He's taken Chhena and reimagined it as Jurassic cheesecake, and he has fed so many people, the who's who of culinary circles in India. We welcome you, Chef Sabi, and thank you for being here with us today. Ms. Madhulika Das, author, researcher, food columnist, who believes more in the present and the future while respecting the past. A researcher in the true sense, she would never leave any stone unturned in making cuisine accountable. The first one to respond to any illegitimacy in cuisine. She allows equal measure of romance in making Oriya cuisine international and self-sustaining. Chef Ajay Sahu, master chef at the prestigious Leela Ambience Gurgaon, is a champion of Oriya food. He is known for his professional drive to place Oriya cuisine among the national spread at Leela. He has done that wonderfully, commendably. He supervises Dia, the regional cuisine restaurant at Leela Ambience, arguably one of India's eatery hotspots. He is trained junior chef who's won Young Chef Award from Sanjeev Kapoor. We welcome you, Chef Ajay. Chef Avinash Nayak, winner of MasterChef 6. He is the first Korea to be selected on the culinary show MasterChef India. His has been a very wonderful journey, a very unique journey from being an engineer to a master chef. Won the MasterChef Lucky Cooks Fellowship 2019, Hungry for Haldiram 2018, among other culinary competitions. He's raring to go global, and our best wishes. Welcome to World Oriya Cuisine. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to design and celebrate Oriya cuisine at the global levels. Unprecedented and like never before, we are having this global meet and global discussion to etch our path forward to place Oriya cuisine at the hot spots and the high streets of world food. A little bit on the format of today's discussion. We'll be having this discussion for about 45 minutes where we would have our panelists sharing their experience, their thoughts, their ideas, their visions, and that will be followed by question and suggestions. And I would request all the panelists to keep your presentations crisp, sharp, and timely within 3 minutes. That would be really good for us to leave time for effective question and answers. Without further ado, I would request Mr. Vishal Dev to flag off this discussion and, as the mentor, share his vision and thoughts. Over to Mr. Vishal Dev.
Thank you, Charu, for a very comprehensive introduction to the subject. And I couldn't agree more with you when you said that the time has come to finally take Oriya cuisine to the world. Let me also thank Mr. Debashish Patnaik for taking the initiative of organizing this inclusive discussion on World Oriya cuisine. And let me just go back a little. So in the month of May, towards the end of May, we had a discussion, in fact, several rounds of brainstorming on how do we promote Odisha tourism post the COVID pandemic. And one of the main pillars that emerged for promotion of our tourism post the pandemic was Oriya cuisine. I think it's something which is not really well known, but whoever has actually experienced it has been completely bowled over, and they have great words to talk about and to say about Oriya cuisine. Also, a little experiment that we did way back in September last year helped us to decide on this. So we had invited Chef Thomas Zacharias of Bombay Canteen to visit Odisha for a week. He went around, tasted various cuisines, and went back delighted with what he experienced. And he curated an Oriya menu, also hosted an Oriya food festival sometime in December last year, and then has repeated it several times. I think another very major reason was Avinash Naik becoming the Master Chef champion, and I think so. My congratulations to you, Avinash. I haven't spoken to you, but I think people are going to be major drivers in making Odia cuisine popular all over the world. So, his winning was also a shot run in our arm, and we decided that moving forward, we will use Odia cuisine as a very important area for promoting Odisha tourism. We have several very experienced and panelists today, and experts, authors, etc. I'm not going to talk much about cuisine, but just a little bit of introduction. We have several different areas and regions in Odisha, and each region has its own taste and cuisine. So if you talk about the coastal part of Odisha, the food is influenced by the food that is served to the Lord in Jagannath Temple, Puri, mostly around Bhubaneswar, Puri, Cuttack, and the other coastal areas. You move closer to the area adjoining West Bengal, you will see a lot of kalonji and mustard paste being used. The area surrounding Andhra Pradesh sees a lot of curry leaves and tamarind as special additions to curries. And the Berhampur region again has a very strong South Indian influence. But what takes the cake as far as Odia cuisine is concerned is the seafood. All my batchmates who have come to Odisha, whether from the services or from college, have been completely bowled over by their experience of Odia cuisine. And everybody has asked this question as to why is it that it is not available outside Odisha. And when we talk of Odia cuisine, I think of the seafood, as I was mentioning, the prawns and crabs are specialties. My wife comes from Bombay, and I remember her saying that in Bombay, the prawn that we used to get were those small, teeny, mini little prawns. Here, getting jumbo size prawns is not so difficult. Of course, I'm sure everybody would recall, our signature delicacies which have made national headlines: pakhal and dalma. Sorry, pakhala and dalma, and of course our signature snacks: dahi vada, aloo dum, bindi bara, etc. Very well known. As are our sweets: chhena jhilli, chhena poda, and of course rasgulla. We're delighted that finally we can claim that Odisha, the rasgulla originated from Odisha. So that controversy settled once and for all. We also have a number of non-alcoholic drinks called panna, Bela panna, amba panna, and adara panna. As far as incentives are concerned, Charu had asked me to speak about the incentives also to promote the food processing and food industry and entrepreneurs. So we have an Odisha food processing policy dating back to 2016, which is under revision, which offers several incentives, including capital investment subsidy for setting up a new plant, or for modernizing an existing plant, or for adding infrastructure like coolers, reefers, cooling vans, setting up cold chains, modernization of meat shops, processing centers, etc. Moving forward, how do we plan to use Odia cuisine for promoting Odisha tourism? Because the main objective of the department is to promote Odisha tourism. So we had started off with organization of road shows across the country last year. We did about 11 road shows in mostly capital cities and metros. And seeing the response, we've now decided to, of course, go to the metros and also to tier 2 cities and capital cities of states which are major contributors of tourism, of tourists within the country, domestic tourists, mostly which come from Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal. So the idea is to also venture into tier 2 cities of these states to talk about Odisha tourism and what we offer. So the decision that we've taken is that wherever we go, across all these cities, we'll also organize a 2 or 3 day Odia food festival with the help of the local population, the local hotels, and chefs like Ajay Sahu and Goreya, who I'm sure would be happy to support and help us in this endeavor of ours. We also plan to organize fam trips for food chefs, food bloggers, food enthusiasts, food show hosts. We plan to call them here or take them to different regions of Odisha so that they can experience Odia cuisine firsthand, and they can then promote Odia cuisine when they go back to their respective cities and areas. Alongside this, we will also be inviting a number of foodies, food enthusiasts, etc., to experience the state's food as well as take back memories, tastes, and experience to savor with their families and friends. So, in a nutshell, this is what we plan to do with Odia cuisine, and I look forward to hearing from others about what their ideas are about how we can go about promoting Odia cuisine across the world. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Vishal Dev. You never stop giving pleasant surprises. You not only finished in time, you also mentioned about the niche seafood. You also mentioned about the romance of connecting this with we call ourselves the Anna Brahma. So we are actually closing the loop from Anna Brahma, from divine food to how do we take this global and complete the cycle. And also you spoke about the action that's happening and the roadmap. Thank you so much for the vision of Odisha tourism. And hence, as we go along in the discussion today, and we act on our discussions later on, we'll get to know more about the intrinsic strengths, possibilities, and learnings. Thank you so much, Mr. Vishal Dev. I would now request Ms. Madhulika Das to give her thoughts on what has been the uniqueness of our Odia cuisine. And she's been a scholar, she has written, she has done research. What's the uniqueness? And from this uniqueness, how do we adapt to the changing lifestyles of the next generation, Gen Z, millennials, younger generation? And how do we advocate all of this to make a complete package? Ms. Madhulika Das.
Thank you, Charu. And thank you, Vishal Dev, for that introduction. Charu, the beauty of having Vishal Dev as our secretary is that we can now come out with very radical ideas to promote our cuisine, and he'll give a go ahead because he understands our cuisine so well. If I call him for a chef retreat, I probably will get a yes right now as we speak.
Right.
But coming back to our cuisine, in India, or in the global scenario, there are very few cuisines which are self-evolving. Odisha cuisine is one of them. We are approved by Ayurveda. We are approved by Charak Samhita. We are mentioned in Vedas. We go back 8,000 years. And the beauty of all it is that even with changing times, our is one of the few cuisines. Of course, people speak about Kerala, Sadhya and all. But our is one of the few cuisines which are built to take care of us. That is perhaps the most unique point of our cuisine. Today, when everybody is trying to build immunity, to take care of themselves, to detox themselves, like Vishal said, we have a huge range of Bello Pona, which are basically sharbats of our kind, which can detox an entire body. We have Kanika, which can calm you down, जो north में सिर्फ हलवा करता है. Kanika is meant to calm us down while building our circadian rhythm, जिसको आयुर्वेदा में वात पित्त कफा बोला जाता है. Our Santula is something you can make and you can feed a 3-year-old and a 73-year-old. You take that, turn it into ghanto, put fish into it, it becomes a luxury. Put meat into it, it becomes a luxury. We are built in gourmet. We don't have to do anything to our cuisine to make it gourmet. We are hot, whatever you say, in every manner. And we are versatile. Our Santula, if we are here, we can use Jhudongo. If we go to Maharashtra, we can use Gawar Phalli. If we go ahead, we can use broad beans. So we are versatile. And more so, each one of this cuisine has been recorded in our many temples. We have about 9,000 temples in Odisha, in ruins. Otherwise, we have Buddhism culture. Our chuda ghosa is something which, if you put in your belly, it actually helps you drink water. Today we have hydrometers in the West. We don't need it. We can have chuda ghosa to manage our water intake and balance our pH level. And beauty is that our ancestors knew that we'll only dedicate ourselves to other artisanal pursuits. So they fed everything into our temples. So we don't even need to go back, do a lot of research. We just have to understand those foods and get back it into our system. For example, one of the one of the most sought after dish during the lockdown was giving young kids our chawlo khiri, which is the runny, watery kheer, to keep them happy, to comfort them, to keep them de-stressed. Now, what probably we need to do it to take it global level is we have people like Sabi, Ajay, Avinash. Two of them have worked with me extensively, Sabi and Ajay, to give it a new format if required. But I firmly believe अगर हम अपने pathuri, which is our black granite vessel, उसमें भी if we put our food and take it to abroad, it will be a revelation. We are high on fermentation. We are high on umami. We are high on glutamine. And trust me, Odia will be the next, from Odisha, we'll take out the next trend and give it to the West. Moraika won't come back to us. We'll give the next trend to them and it will mostly be our pittas. Imagine we have a festival on Rajjo which talks about women mood swings and how pittas can solve it. Where would you find such things? So I said, we don't need, we just need a lot of collaborations. And I'm sure Mr. Vishal Dev and Deva Patnaik and Sabi, all of them will agree with me, including Avinash, you. We just need platforms to just go and shout that we are the best. And we are the best.
Thank you so much for this passion, because we also share this passion. When you would remember earlier days, I mean, even now, today in rural Orissa, when kids have dysentery or diarrhea, they're given chawla khiri and other stuff. So they were so filling and they were so healthy. I completely agree with you. But Madhulika, I have a small question. How do we leverage this? One is the format. Maybe we can change the format, or maybe we can go in a different avatar of taking this food in a language which the West understands. So do you think we need to do a little bit of chronicling, a little bit of research, or how do we do this? How do we take this forward? How do we leverage?
See, leveraging, Vishal Dev once told me charity starts at home. So we will have to build all our strengths in the 70, 80 eco retreats we have, where we can cover our tribal cuisine, our village cuisine, our fisherman cuisine, crabs, everything. As far as chronicling is concerned, yes, we need to start seriously looking at all our traditions once again, so that we know what they were created for. They were not created on whimsical fancies. But the good news is that everybody, and I'm sure Avinash will agree with me and Ajay will agree with me, our two young minds, that we have started chronicling. Even if people go to their grandmothers and say, why was this made? How was this made? What rice, should be used? We can leverage it, because then we can save that one rice variety. Mughaleshi rice from Baripada is used for its mudi, and that's why the mudi is such good quality. If we know that, we can these chefs can come together to promote that variety. Sabi has promoted a lot of varieties, to promote that variety and create livelihood. Nobody is going to leave our land. Nobody is going to leave our small scale industry and go. We have a beautiful ecosystem that has existed and still continues to be. We cook in Kodwa. We serve in Pathuri. Where has soul food been served like that? We add minerals to food even after we've cooked it, and that is why we can say it is a soul food. So I think we just have to make sure that we put it together in a fashion where it can convey itself. That is where I think we need to work hard.
Thank you, Ms. Das, for your observation. Stressing on the possibilities and essentially talking about the uniqueness of the food and available possibilities to make the vision achievable, because the scope of contemporarizing it. Really appreciate that. And now I would come to Mr. Debashish Patnaik, alias Debu Patnaik, for all of us. This is the third time I've been telling this. So we would like to hear from you about your experience. You have gone into a territory uncharted then, about 20 years ago. You wanted to give Odia food to Odia people in Odisha and then venture out. I think that was an audacious move. So how is this experience going to help the younger generation take this as an enterprise? And do you think enterprise is a sure, solid way of etching the culture for a longer time? Your thoughts, please.
Okay. Thank you, Charu. And thank you, Odisha Tourism and Secretary Tourism, Mr. Vishal Dev, for coming ahead with this discussion that we are planning. This is the first time it's online discussion on Odia cuisine. Nobody would be more excited about it than me. You know, being an Odia probably made me a food. The Odia in me probably brought out the food entrepreneurship within me. In those days, there was not a single Odia restaurant anywhere. I saw an image. Then I saw my cuisine, which is right from pitha to mitha, from vegetarian to non-vegetarian, you name it, we have it. The spread was awesome. So I said, why not? We take a chance and start marketing it, start selling it, and probably the cuisine, the novelty of the cuisine, the availability of the cuisine, and the branding. You know, we called it, the restaurant, we called it Dalma, and that initially was very well connected with Odias everywhere. So we were quite, the response was instant. Then we decided that we need to take it forward. We take it to the next level. We take it out of the state. We try to popularize it. Places where they have not heard about Odia cuisine. Then we took it to, we didn't have that kind of confidence, or probably we didn't have that kind of, I would say, the money power to go into the main cities with a huge restaurant, but we still managed and went to Bangalore, which had a substantial Odia population. We thought that at least the Odias will come and eat. And that is what happened initially, that probably 99% of our footfalls were from Odias. But things changed in 10, maybe 2 years, 3 years. It was all over. It became 60-40, where 60% people were from Odisha and 40% were non-Odias who were coming and having the food. Same experience we had in Delhi and same experience in Calcutta also. So the cuisine is something which is quite, acceptable to people who are and tasted. When we are talking, we all Odias are talking in Odisha about Odisha cuisine. That's a different story. But here is an example where the food has gone out of the state and has succeeded. So it is something which is scalable and should be taken out. And you are talking of the scaling part. I think, my dream is there should be Odia cuisine outlets in each of the state district headquarters, each of the tourist destinations, and probably each of the state capitals of the country. Another dream, of course, I have, which I must share, is, that would be the happiest day when I see the street corner, every street corner, there is no biryani, and the biryani counter is replaced by the rice and mutton curry, red mutton curry, aloo jolo. If that replaces the biryani counter, that will give me the biggest happiness. Now, coming back to the support or the, how do we scale it? Major part is the chefs. Chefs are the people who we lack in Odia cuisine. Because till date, there has not been a single proper course on Odia cuisine in any of the institutes. So we need to create that. We need to include that in the curriculum of the institutes to train Odia food. That is a major issue. Today we have 35 Odia restaurants in the city of Bhubaneswar, but same issue. We don't have proper chefs or proper cooks. So trained cooks. We need to have that. We need to develop that skill of trained chefs to take it forward. And I need not say anything more about the international thing. That is going to happen because we have got offers from Dubai. We have had people talking with us from Singapore, from SFO, from San Francisco. So that is there. We can always scale it up. But we need passionate people who are passionate about the cuisine and good entrepreneurs. Then only we can scale it up.
Thank you, Mr. Patnaik. Nobody can stop an idea whose time has come. Thank you so much for giving us this overview on sustainability of Odia food. With the younger generation coming forward to establish Odia food business, it's an emerging enterprise for Odisha and also for India. Because I would like to resonate, Odisha is the future of India in many ways. We would like to hear from you, Chef Ajay, now, on how you are advocating Odia food. We hear so much about what you're doing in Leela Ambience, one of the most prestigious brands in this part of the world. What are you doing to promote Odia food and how you have done it? What's your experience?
Thank you, Charudata sir. Thank you, Odisha Tourism. So most of the Odia cuisine is unique because of its ingredients, its style of preparation, and methods of cooking. Okay, so if you compare with the other states' food, so our food, the Odia cuisine, is totally different. It's very less oily, it's healthy, and there no need more spices and full of nutrition. See, I came from the local village of Odisha. I spent almost 22 years in my village. So I can understand the sustainability ingredients. I can understand the local produce. I work with the local farmers, so I can understand the local grains, rice, different types of rice. Okay, so being a master chef of Leela Ambience Gurugram, so I have taken care of one of the best award-winning restaurants in Gurgaon, Delhi, which is called Dia. So you will get few dishes from Odisha, which is the part of the menu. Okay, so if you're talking about even in the Rajo festival, we make podo pita and chena podo. It's for the guest to know about our cuisine, our culture. It's complimentary. And another side, we have biggest coffee shop which is called Spectra in Delhi. So in 2019, we make almost two times Odia brunch there, with total almost 15 to 16 dishes, including dahi vada, aludam, then our singada. And after that, we get the call from received the call from our regular guest. Why not you make a repeat Odia brunch there? So that means good feedback that people will like it. So after the and another thing in 2019, so one of my junior get the award and he makes regional food, Odia food in Indian Culinary Forum competition, and he get the awards from Chef Sanjeev Kapoor. Okay, and second thing, I make Odia food so many times there. So I make khaja there. Almost 4,500 for Diwali gift hamper, which is available in Puri. Then I make rasa badi, chena podo. It's the part of the menu. Even most of the wine dinner, it's happen every 15 days. So we make small portion of Odia food to the tables. Then the most important thing in Odia food will not face any difficulties to get the ingredients. That means everybody can cook anywhere, because most of the food they need some khas ki jhad, pan ki jhad, like some maize powder, some star anise. But in Odia food, the simplicity of the Odia food is very simple. We use local vegetable. It's very simple. Anyone can make. And even after that, I'll get the very positive feedback from the guests, and particularly from the food blogger, food critic, food writer. Like Mariam Rishi, they appreciate the food. Madhulika Ma'am, they try my food at my restaurants. Then Rinku Madan, great Atul Sikand, then Pawan Soni, they all try Odia thali, like veg thali and non-veg, including pakhada also. They try there. So they love the food. They love the food. So that is the positive feedback.
Thank you. Thank you, Chef Ajay. Thank you for championing Odia cuisine outside the state and bringing a lot of stakeholders showing interest in partnering in various forms as consumers or revenue models or whatever. Thank you so much. Avinash, you are the recent heartthrob rock star. So taking Odia cuisine to reality show and have won the coveted MasterChef recognition. You have heard the panelists sharing their thoughts. How do you like Odia cuisine hit global high street? Your ideas, vision, and perspectives, please.
Thank you, Charudatta sir and Odisha Tourism. For me, I think we have to empower the future to take it ahead. And what has lagging for me, I think the understanding of our cuisine, and that if it related to culinary, so the culinary chefs, the students who are about to come, they have to understand and respect this cuisine. They have to get in person and closely understand what is this cuisine about. And as Devo sir told, and I completely believe that we have to have a mandatory course in our culinary institutes and academies where they will have a subject, or they will understand the regional cuisine, its attributes, the ingredients that are indigenous to the state, and the different aspects of the cuisine. Like Odisha cuisine is not only about the temple cuisine; it has other aspects. It has the tribal community, which is completely different from the temple. It has the coastline cuisine. It has and the royal cuisine. So they have to understand this different aspect of the cuisine and also the ingredient, and which I think if included in the culinary, they will start learning. And when they go and open a restaurant, they will try to implement that in their cuisine, like Chef Ajay sir is doing, and like Chef Sabi is doing right now. So, and also what will happen if we include the courses, as our cuisine is not documented as it should be. Like the other aspect of Odisha is there, like the culture, the art is there, but the cuisine has not been in any printed form or in any document properly documented. So if we include some courses in Culinary Institute, there are people who are interested, who study food. They will get a platform to publish their books, and also to be like the student will learn from there. And the common people will also will have the access to understand the different aspect, like the story behind it. Normally, as a common people, those who eat, they don't understand how this santula has evolved, how this dalma has evolved, how a pitha has come, why we use this particular rice variety. So when those things will be told in public platform, when culinary the chefs and all this like culinary people will tell them, so that storytelling will come in connection with the food they are eating. And that is how I think we should support our future chefs and whoever is coming to produce more food and market it.
Thank
by
you,
giving them more platform. Yeah.
Thank you, Avinash. That was pretty crisp, and
So-
you had very specific points. Appreciate that.
So
Appreciate
I have taken Sabri in the speaker through another
Sure.
medium, so you can talk to. We
Sure.
can listen to him.
Yeah. Hi, Sabi. Glad to be back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, though feeble, but okay. I mean, we want to hear from you. Whatever decibel level.
I think there's a bit of a gap on the communication, and hence we're using two different devices to, I hope I'm audible.
Sir, you can
I
mute.
understand.
Sabri sir, you can mute
You
your.
can mute one because there will be echo. So if you mute one, there will be no echo. So that
You can-
might help.
You can mute your Google Meet.
Thank you for making me do this. I'll quickly run through my point that I have in mind. I'm probably the only unique person in the panel who was not born in India, but I come from the border states, and I have great memories of growing up and in Balasore and Cuttack, and my dad's family, since it is from Midnapur area. Pushkar is a part of our growing up, and my oldest childhood memory goes back sitting in my grandmother's kitchen trying to get the pizza and trying to make little holes on the back of a mud pot and seeing them and things like that. And I can go on and on talking about my food memories. My mom comes from the eastern side, which is the East Bengal, and my dad's family, which is what has influenced us more from the border states or the border Jilas of Odisha. And as luck would have, I got chosen for the IHM, and then I got selected for Odisha IHM. And this is my second chapter or my second love with Odisha. And this is, as you can say, good or bad, I had with the daily love for Dalma and Kapula in the college hostel, whether it is because of the cost, whether it is because of the sustainability, or whether it is because of the way the cooking was designed. But give me a chance to travel around, and I think
No. You can't. Okay.
So I was down in the Chilika, where I was, this whole brackish water cuisine, or you can see the fish and seafood cuisine, which is not from the ocean, but from a very different kind of water, tastes very different. Then, of course, the seafood cuisine of Odisha that we don't really talk about. We talk more about from Gujarat and Kerala, but we don't really talk about Odisha that much. And then the inland cuisine, which is what is complexity, your monsoon muri to all your other seasonal vegetable recipes. I keep talking about chatu poda, which is one of the chatu bhaja. Chatu bhaja is your mushrooms, which is probably one of the rare Western dishes that any of the Indian cuisine or Indian cuisine kind of brings on food. Now, chatu bhaja is also one of my restaurant menus because it gives me the chance and opportunity to showcase non-traditional vegetables. So every time we talk of mushrooms, we always talk and think of European, Western cuisine. And it's so interesting to a regional cuisine like Korea, the way the chatu bhaja is or the ingredients that I use are very, very unique.
Okay. We have two milestones, Sabi. We have two milestones. One, reach the national level. Two, reach the global level. How do we do that?
Korean cuisine, I think there are many dishes and recipes which are extremely unique. I think everybody, including both the chefs, work very strongly and with great vigor and power. But one of the things I think Mr. Dave mentioned, and he also said, I think it needs a bit of a packaging to get the world is such that everything is so packaged and put in the right channel. And I think with the help of Korean tourism and with all the panel members and the people that are here with your support, Charu, that I think it can be packaged
Thank you. Thank you, Sabi. Thank you so much. If I were to sum up this discussion so far, we've been looking at three areas basically. We've been looking at how to build this story. So, this demand creation and the supply side. How do we have chefs readied? How do we have course, curriculum? How do we make youngsters prepared to get into this and take it as a full time, as a profession or as a vocation? And as far as the storytelling is concerned, how do we connect this to the culture? How do we have better chronicling? And how do we take this forward to have a beautiful bind between culture and the culinary that you've been, or the cuisine that you've been talking about? Um, I would now request Mr. Vishal Dev to be, who's our prime mover, and to take this forward and end today's discussion with his message. I would not call it a valedictory message because this is not valedictory. This is just the beginning, and this is just the beginning. And you should guide us, tell us what to do next. Of course, it's all our responsibility, collective responsibility. Thank you.
Thanks, Charu, and let me thank all the panelists for giving some really good insights into what needs to be done. Charu mentioned that I need to guide. No, I think I differ there. We all have to work together. It's not the government alone can do things. We need it to be a collective effort. There are a couple of things which stood out from the discussion. I won't summarize because that's what Charu has done, but let me just mention these points once again. I think Madhulika touched upon the first thing is I believe we need to create a story around Odia cuisine, a narrative, and take it to the world. And Madhulika mentioned about healing and health properties of Odia food, which are not very well known outside. Our food is low on oil and spices, but high on flavors. And the issues that she was mentioning about the healing properties of some of our food items, I think that needs to be conveyed to the whole world. At our end, what we also are doing from Odisha tourism side is we have about 40 odd properties by way of Panthanevasis, which have been offering sundry food to guests who stay there. We have decided that we will be introducing a nice curated menu of Odia food across all these Panthanevasis. We did a eco retreat at Konark, which was hugely successful. We'll be replicating that at 4 or 5 other locations, very scenic, beautiful locations, and we plan to have again Odia food as part of the menu that will be on offer there. Because the idea behind all these shows is also to promote Odia culture, Odia heritage, and now we're talking of Odia cuisine as well. Mr. Debashish Patnaik mentioned about his dream of seeing an outlet in every district and every state capital. I completely agree with you, and I share your dream, but I think the first and the foremost thing that is required is we need a whole lot of people like you, entrepreneurs who are willing to take the risk of quitting a cushy and comfortable job and starting their own enterprise. And we need a whole lot of more Odias, and maybe perhaps Sabi Gore is, can I say that you are half Odia? So we need more people like you to promote Odia cuisine across the country, and scaling up, again, Mr. Patnaik mentioned, that's very important. You see, you can have 1 or 2 restaurants in a corner of the city or somewhere, but unless you have chains of these restaurants across the country, or maybe we should ideally dream of taking Dalma abroad as well. I believe you are in talks with people in Dubai, etc. We can have a Sarvana Bhavan across the world. Why can't we have a Dalma across the world? So we just need a few more entrepreneurs and people who are willing to jump into the bandwagon. The second very important component is chefs. Mr. Patnaik mentioned it in the context of trained chefs. I am mentioning it in the context of the influence that these chefs have. Let's say Ajay Sahu, as the executive chef at Leela Ambience, I think he has a tremendous influence in promoting Odia cuisine, and I'm glad that Ajay, you've taken the initiative of including items from our cuisine into the menu that is served at Leela Ambience. the next time I'm there in Delhi, I'll surely,
Yes.
come over and meet you and have something over there. I think the point that Sabi mentioned about packaging and presentation is again very important. One may not like it, but you see the way food is served and it is packaged is very, very important. And that is an area where we need to improve. On the chef side, again, I think we have IHM in Bhubaneswar and then state IHM in Bolangir. I and Mr. Patnaik are on the board of IHM at Bhubaneswar. I think we need to perhaps start a special module on Odia cuisine at IHM Bhubaneswar and also at SIHM Bolangir. So we'll do this in the very next governing board meeting. But on the Odisha food policy also, the policy for promoting food processing industries, and within we are revising these policies and we'll be coming out with a new policy by December this year. So I would welcome suggestions from everyone who has tuned into the program today as to what we need to include in the Odisha tourism policy as well as the food processing policy. Thank you all very much for sparing the time and joining us in this program today. It's been great listening to all of you. I believe there were a lot of comments being offered, but I think our team was not able to respond to them. But let me just say that we'll try and compile all these inputs and we'll try and get back to whoever has given their comments. But thank you for the effort of also, commenting on the discussion. Thanks a lot.
Can we take a few questions?
Sure.
Maybe a couple of them? Because they've come from all over the world. So let me start from Baliguda Ganjam. Balakrishna Sahu, he has a question. He's asking what
we will be introducing a nice created menu of Odia food across all these.
Sorry, I heard someone speaking.
Somebody is playing our live.
Okay. So what's the roadmap for bringing Odia cuisine to an international level? So this is a question from Balakrishna Sahu, Buguda Ganjam. So I think Mr. Vishaldev, you could actually answer that, because the roadmap or the blueprint is not something which you can probably answer in 2-3 minutes, but at least a few pointers that could help him.
We did an eco retreat at Konark, which was hugely successful. We'll be replicating that at 4 or 5 other locations, very scenic locations, and
somebody is.
Yes, I think you have to mute someone. I think now it's okay. So can you share a few pointers?
So what I mentioned in the beginning, about the roadmap is a part of the overall roadmap for promotion of Odisha tourism across the world. And as I mentioned a couple of things in the beginning, I said we are organizing roadshows across all the metropolitan cities, across several tier 2 and tier 3 cities. At all of these places, we will have Odia food festivals. We will also get in touch with various hotel chains, for a dialogue and a discussion if it can be introduced as a part of their menu. And we'll take the help of several chefs of our from our state who are doing very well, some of whom are executive chefs. We've got Ajay Sahu here, Sabi Gurei. I know of Suprakash Tripathi, who is the executive chef at Trident, Mumbai. We have several other. So we need to build a network of all these chefs also for, influencing and taking their support in promoting Odisha tourism, and all the points that I mentioned towards the end of my summing up, so to say, is what we need. Yeah, that's all, Chad.
Thank you, Mr. Vishaldev. We have questions which are more or less similar, so I'm clubbing all of them. So, and I'm taking the names of the people who have asked this question. So, Mamta Rath from US, Texas, IT professional. Abhilash from Rwanda, Africa. Deepa from Houston. Asutosh Panda from Bangalore. They are asking how they would like to open Odia eateries in their place. though not very big, but they are ready to go and they have some resources. They can pool in the resources. They want hand-holding support. How do they design this? How do they do this? They have taken a cue from the example of Dalma. So for Mr. Patnaik and Sabi, I mean, who would like to take this and advise them? How to go about this?
See, there are two parts in this question. One is the entrepreneurship, and the other is the technical support. Now, Sabi can come in as a technical support, but I would come here and say, and probably suggest or request the Odisha tourism that let us, if we are really trying to promote the cuisine, let us have a set of experts or maybe set of consultants who can take care of this kind of requests. It is not easy for one man, be it Sabi or Chef Ajay, or for that matter Avinash or help out this kind of request. So it has to be a team or a selective set of people who are there available. Somebody or the other can support them or help them out, or maybe guide them or mentor them.
Thank you, Mr. Patnaik.
But my only question is, you have to be passionate about it. You must feel strongly about the cuisine, and you are an entrepreneur in making. Then only you can succeed. Because this is absolutely unknown terrain where you are trying to play.
Thank you, Mr. Patnaik. Sabi, you want to add on to what Mr. Patnaik mentioned now?
No, he still has that issue.
Okay.
So I would like to just butt in for a second. Mr. Patnaik also happens to be involved with Startup Odisha. And I think he is in the right position, along with the MSME department and under our startup policy. We'll be very happy to create this group which you mentioned about, a group for mentoring them. And as I mentioned, I think a network of chefs from the state who are in key positions. So this group could be set up to guide them on technical aspects as well as on financial aspects, because financial aspects in a startup are just as important as the technical aspects.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pranay Gupte, columnist, New York Times, he's given a quote, so to say. He's saying that he's very happy to know that Odisha's culture provides so much of velocity and scope for economic development of the state. Thank you so much, Mr. Gupte. Chef Neeraj Tyagi, Pullman Aerocity, has a question. He's asking, what are the opportunities of collaboration? Are there any platforms that allow us to interact with experts to understand the cuisine? Chef Ajay Sahu, would you like to respond to this? Because you've been in, and he's very close to you also. You're in Ambience and he's in Pullman Aerocity.
Hi, Chef. Good evening. First of all, good evening, Chef Neeraj Tyagi. So to understand the cuisine, and so there is no documentation of Odia cuisine. So if you want to learn about the cuisine, so then first of all you have to visit Odisha to the local village area. And the Odia cuisine is divided into various parts. Like we have temple cuisine, we have street food of Odisha. Hello, can you hear me? We have street food of Odisha. Then we have tribal cuisine. Then we have Sadika Khana. That is different. So Odia cuisine is totally different. The spices is totally different. So when somebody wants to learn Odia cuisine, so definitely so he or she should be come to the Odisha and learn and more and more.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chef Ajay.
Charu, I just want to correct Ajay on one point. Odisha cuisine is documented. We still have technicians. We still have people who know the right way of teaching chefs how to take it forward. The only point is we don't have a culinary rotary,
right,
where everything has to come together. And I think that is what Vishal Dev and Deva Patnaik is stressing on, that the need has finally come to put all of us together. Of course, he's right. Everybody has to come to Odisha to taste the food here, because that's only when you can appreciate the nuances much better. But yes, documentation has done. We need to have a culinary rotary as soon as we get onto it. I think we'll have the biggest support given to world around to open up restaurants, do food festivals, pop-ups, road shows, and in fact invite them and turn them into our own culinary ambassadors.
All right.
Got you. Thank you, Stash. Firoz Hamid from Singapore for Avinash. How can you showcase tribal and local cuisines? What are your thoughts?
Okay. So to understand and showcase tribal cuisine, you have to understand the ingredients first and how they treat those ingredients. They eat very native spices, pulses, and like for example, we have jhodi poko chutney on and chutney. So those things we have to understand how they behave, how they need to be treated, and then we can present it in a well mannered in a restaurant or through our retreats or in a different way. But to understand tribal and rural cuisine, you have to understand the ingredient and how they treat it. So yeah.
Thank you, Avinash. In fact, we have come to the end of this session, and I would like to mention one thing, and I would request this panel and everyone else involved to have maybe after this to have a concentrated discussion about the demand creation. What are the things that we need to do for road shows, and how do we do this storytelling? How do we weave this culture into cuisine and cuisine into culture and make it a much more comprehensive approach going forward? And that will help all of the people. And because I could sense this common thread in all the questions, what do we do? I mean, we could probably be entrepreneurs, but how do you promote my business? By creating the hype, by creating the profile, raising the profile. Thank you so much. And we have overshot by about 3 minutes. We started at 8:15, now it's 9:18. I think we have done well for ourselves. A pat in the back. And thank you all. Now we have come to the end. And this is just the beginning, as I mentioned. And we will always remember a French writer who said, cuisine is something which keeps it natural, which keeps it authentic. So we'll keep that in mind, and please spread this message of Mission Odia Cuisine and join in as a champion. All of you worldwide, this panel, everyone. Thank you so much. Good night, namaskar, and be safe under this pandemic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.